morning we're going to talk about Module 4, which is about the executive branch. And just a quick disclaimer, anytime I say he, it actually is gender neutral. It could also mean she because, well, for obvious reasons. Okay, first we're going to talk about Article 2, which gives information about the executive branch. And I consider it kind of an employment manual for the executive branch, for the president. So Section 1 talks about the powers vested for the president, term limits, and also describes how the president is elected. Section 2 describes and limits presidential power. It gives the president, he is the commander-in-chief, the power to pardon, and also the power to appoint, and also to have treaties. Section 3, employment specifics. We keep getting further and further down. He is limited even more now. The president must give the State of the Union address. He recommends new laws to Congress, receives ambassadors from foreign countries, which is when they give those really rocking parties. He ensures that laws are faithfully executed, and he commissions all officers of the United States. And then number 4 is the termination clause. The president and the vice president can be impeached. They are not at-will employees. They actually we must show cause to get rid of them. So just kind of something to think about. So think about Article 2 as being a funnel. It's big at the top, and it limits more and more and more. Okay, Alexander Hamilton presented the 4 vowels of presidential power under Article 2, A, E, I, and U. He did leave out the implied, oh no, I'm president, now what do I do? Moving on. A stands for accountability. The president is accountable to the people, the Congress, and the courts. E is for energy. He must have the energy and the strength to protect the country from foreign attacks, from domestic insurrections, and to ensure military success, as has been done with the Civil War, the World Wars, the Cold War, and hopefully the War on Terrorism, but we're still checking that one out. The I stands for independent. He is independent from Congress. Only the president and the vice president are elected by we the people as the whole of the United States, whereas Congress is elected state by state. The salary stays the same for the president, so that way he comes in knowing that he is a salaried employee. He cannot negotiate for bonuses or an increase in salary. And the president also takes an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, which is why we're having this class. And then finally, the U stands for unitary. It vests power only in the individual and not as a group. The framers of the Constitution rejected the idea of having more than one president or even a committee because, as everyone knows, it is almost impossible to get anything done with a group. Okay, so now let's take a look at three inherent powers that are mentioned in this week's readings. The first one is the presidential power of direction and control. And basically the book is looking at what are the presidential powers when it comes to actions within the executive branch to control proceedings. Can he force his power into judicial proceedings? Can he direct prosecutions to be stopped? And when does this power end? Attorney General William Wirt, in talking to President Monroe, basically just said, it appears to me that you have no power to interfere. That's pretty blatant. Now the next inherent power is presidential removal power. If the president can appoint, can he also remove? Can the president remove non-congressional and non-Article 3 officers of the federal government? Who can the president fire at will? This section is particularly fun because there is a dissenting opinion by Justice Scalia regarding the use and constitutionality of independent prosecutors. He is not a fan. I love Scalia. Moving on. The other inherent power that is discussed in the book is the take care clause. And basically it says that the president should take care that laws are faithfully executed. And this means that he cannot just arbitrarily suspend or dispense of acts of Congress or suspend laws that Congress has put into place. And this is because back in the day, King James abused that power, and the framers wanted to make sure that that did not happen in our new country. And so this is meant to limit and not expand presidential powers, but many presidents have used it to expand. Thinking about Jefferson, by stopping the Alien and Sedition Act, which Congress had enacted, that is one way that he expanded that power. So those are three inherent powers that are listed in our reading: direction and control, presidential removal power, and the take care clause.
Well, it's so good to see you, Miss Ambassador. This is our ambassador to the United States. She is the Duchess of Earl, and we are thrilled to have her here at Camp Dennis.
Thank you, Mrs. President.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Your hat is stunning.
Thank you. Madam President,
What?
I have a bill from Congress.
Gosh, what do these guys want now? Crystal, really? A Bugatti for all Congress people? I'm thinking no. And 45 more vacation days? I've had it. Veto!
Madam President, what is your decision for the prisoner?
For the crime of pulling the cat across the floor by the head, I pardon you, Peanut. You are free to go. A success.
Presidential pardon power.
And finally, he can be impeached.